aka R38, and I welcome you back once again to my channel. Today we're gonna continue the guides video series, and we're gonna be doing a quick run-up on how to trade on a decentralized exchange. On the last one, we basically checked and learned how to create a wallet, a non-custodial wallet, and now we're gonna use that wallet to trade on these exchanges. Now, one thing to understand is that these decentralized exchanges are basically applications made on separate blockchains. And in order to interact with them, you don't have to create an account per se, you just have to own a wallet and then connect that wallet to these different applications. And then you can interact with the decentralized application in question. Now, in the last video, we also checked how to add other blockchains to our MetaMask, because a lot of these blockchains run on the Ethereum virtual machine, meaning you could also trade using MetaMask on these other blockchains. However, you need to change the network every time you do so. And if we quickly check that again, when we click on our MetaMask extension, we can see here in the drop-down list, because I took the liberty of adding them all. And yeah, you can do that if you watch that video again. There are even links in the description below where you can go and follow the basic instructions. So each time I want to basically interact with one of these applications, I just have to click on the different network and then connect it again to that specific application. So let's do a quick run up, starting with a decentralized application called Uniswap. And this one runs on the Ethereum blockchain. This is where you swap tokens on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, one thing I want to mention when it comes to decentralized applications is that me personally, I prefer them above centralized exchanges, like Binance. One thing to mention here is that it's true that a lot of these coins, the well-known projects out there and tokens, are actually visible on these big centralized exchanges because they have more exposure, more liquidity, etc. Now, if you want to trade a project that isn't very popular yet, you think has potential, or a project that just started, or simply a DeFi protocol that cannot exist on a centralized exchange, your best bet is to come to one of these decentralized ones and trade your token or DeFi protocol or whatsoever. Chances are you're not going to find these on a centralized exchange, and you might never do so. And plus, you'd pay less fees on a DEX versus paying fees on a SEX, even though theoretically you don't think you're paying much on a centralized exchanges. However, intrinsically there are fees that you are paying every time you swap. Now, I do say that, however, there are very high fees, especially on the Ethereum blockchain versus the others, but that's a separate topic. Anyways, let's start this. Let's roll this application like Uniswap. You just go to the right, launch app, and then it's going to open you the swap page. It's very simple, straightforward, no need to do any shenanigans. We just have to connect. Now, for me, for example, because I was connected to the CRO blockchain, which is kind of incorrect, and it's not going to work anyways. So I'm going to go back, click on networks here, Ethereum mainnet. And now I can connect my wallet, choose MetaMask. Now it's telling me that there's a small error. Yeah, let's try again. Alright, I think it's because I have several. Oh, yeah, right, okay, I think now it should be fine. Okay, I am connected. Yeah, I had several pending requests due to other dApps. Alright, so. Alright, one thing also to mention is that because you're trading on a decentralized application, in this case an exchange, you have to understand that since they are built on a specific blockchain. So every project that runs on these has its liquidity paired with the blockchain's native coin. So for Ethereum, it's ETH. So whatever you want to trade, as you can see here by default, it showed me ETH. And then the second part is to select another token. So whatever you want to trade, you have to pair it with meaning you have to have ETH in your wallet already. And we learn how to basically get that ETH into our wallet in the first video. Yeah, so I'm assuming I have ETH. I have none here because this is a separate wallet, but I can go and select the token, and then I can choose the token I want to trade. Now, one thing to mention is that if, for example, the token or protocol you want to trade doesn't exist in this list, you can actually go and bring it forward, because whatever the application or whatever the project that runs on Ethereum, you can trade on Uniswap. Even though it doesn't exist here, but you can. And I'll tell you something that you can do in order to bring that project here. You can go to coinmarketcap.com, and in coinmarketcap.com essentially you will find most, if not all, the projects you want to trade. You can search for it here. I'm just gonna pick a random one just on the home page. I'm gonna go with just randomly to show you where you can actually bring the contract of that project and insert it in Uniswap. Now, because it's an application essentially, it runs on the blockchain via a contract created that enables buy, sells, and other elements to be discussed later on. So by simply copy pasting this contract in the application, so for example, since I want to trade this, whatever that is, I'll just copy the address, right? So it's copied. I go to Uniswap, I click on select a token again, you paste the address, and here it is. It's here. Now, like I said, this is something that is not very well known. It's a new project apparently, or something under the radar, and it tells you here, like, the DEX itself gives you like a small warning, like, be careful, this is not on our list, so it's your responsibility to trade, and so just import it, because CoinMarketCap basically shows you the actual contract, so it's not going to be fraudulent. It's always very important to watch out for the URLs. Like, bookmark these, like coinmarketcap.com, uniswap.org, because hackers could basically make up a phishing website. It could be, I don't know, uniswap with 2p.org, and it would look the same, everything would look legit, but whenever you go to the app and connect your wallet, it's gonna drain your wallet. And this is a very common thing in the crypto space. Scammers and hackers are everywhere, so just be careful and bookmark the actual websites, the legit ones. And also here, as you can see, there's a more button which you can click and basically apparently this token also exists on the Binance Smart Chain, so if you want to trade that over there, you can also do that via this contract. So I imported my token. I want to trade 1 ETH, even though I don't have that for this token, and this is how much it would give me. Now, one thing very important here is that a difference that is very visible in a DEX is that, other than a tax, which is essentially something that the protocol or the project has inserted, this is something that you're paying on top of the money you're paying to get your token. So as you can see, instead of getting 3,000 worth, I'm getting a bit less, because apparently there's a tax that would be paid to the protocol, so to the contract, because it has certain elements to it. So maybe they implement a tax on buy sell so they can fill up a treasury or any other thing that is related to the protocol. Or they could even be sending those 10%, 20, or whatever the tax is to a burn address, hence reducing the supply. Or taking that tax and redistributing the tokens to the holders. There are several mechanics, and I'm gonna basically talk about these things later on in other videos. And also there's this section right here where it shows you, other than the output, it shows you also what is the network fee. And this is commonly known in the crypto space as a gas fee. Now, I mentioned a bit earlier that Ethereum specifically has the highest gas fee amongst all blockchains, and this is mainly because Ethereum still runs like Bitcoin with proof of work type of consensus. So basically there are miners out there, so like you and me, running their laptops, computers, processing power, and basically validating these transactions, and in return they get a share of the network fees in form of Ethereum. Now other blockchains, mainly the other ones that we're going to talk about quickly now, they do run on the proof of stake consensus mechanism, meaning they don't require mining power per se, but they require validators and delegators. Validators are big pools of native coins of the blockchains where people stake them to earn staking rewards on a yearly basis, and in return they are basically nodding the blockchain, so verifying transactions. And delegators are giving away also their BNB or their, let's say, Matic or AVAX, depending on the blockchain, in order to validate transactions. And therefore the fees are less. In this case, much less actually. So that's one of the benefits of a proof of stake blockchain. And then I'm cool with that. I see the network fee, I'm okay with paying that, and then I swap. Now I don't have ETH unfortunately, but if I did here, I would be swapping the tokens. A pop-up will appear here from a MetaMask where it tells me to accept or reject the transaction. I accept it and it runs. And that's mainly it. Now I'm gonna quickly just click on these other websites. So PancakeSwap.finance is the one where you trade if you want to trade on the Binance Smart Chain. SpookySwap for Phantom, and they all follow the same principle basically. So you connect your wallet, you trade. Same here. QuickSwap for Matic. As you can see, the interface is more or less the same. This one is for Kronos. Again, Trader Joe. This one is for AVAX. So all in all, these are the most famous DEXs for the projects, for the blockchains that I'm talking about right here. You can bookmark all of these. I'm gonna actually leave these links in the description because it's very important, like I said, to have these links in particular in order not to get scammed. And also, maybe one last small notion that I will mention in regards to the trade itself is that other than the network fee, which is the gas fee again, there's also one thing that you can control, which is the slippage. And this one, if you can click here, it tells you the slippage tolerance. Basically, the slippage tolerance is not related to the tax. Tax is something else. The slippage tolerance is that, in simple terms, is whatever percentage you are willing to give in order for the validators to accept your transaction first. So you are basically front running other people that have less slippage. And this is usually very important in periods of high volume when it comes to launches. So when a project launches on the spot, there's a spike of volume. And if you want to get in straight away, it's always favorable to increase your tolerance, your slippage tolerance, as much as possible. So you're not gonna pay, for example, if I put, let's say 30%, but my tax is 10%, doesn't mean that I'm gonna pay that 30%. Now perhaps I'm gonna pay more than 10, yes, but this shows the validators that I am front running others unless they add more slippage. Then their transaction is going before mine. So this is also something important to keep in mind. And lastly, each of these blockchains have their scanner. So this is where you can scan your wallet address, check transactions, check the blocks basically. So whatever is happening, if you want to if you transfer tokens, if you buy, sell, everything. So all your interactions with the blockchain is visible here. Now for each of these blockchains, they have different websites. Also, I'm gonna link them below. So this one is for Ether in particular, and this one is for BSC. So you just enter your the address. This address could be your wallet address. This address could be the tokens address or the coins address, the project, whatever, and then you can see everything related to that. This one is pretty helpful because if you want to search in your wallet, for example, if let's say you run the transaction, you received an airdrop, you can verify all of these because they ran through your wallet. And also sometimes you can go and check why the transaction that you tried to commit failed. And if you want to follow something also, you can do that. So I would suggest always checking this in regards to monitoring the transactions, and everything is visible on the blockchain. So these things cannot be hidden basically. And that's it from me today. Consider subscribing to the channel if what I'm visualizing interests you. Have a good day, have a good week. See you in the next one. Bye bye.